Hello everyone, we are here, we are live, we are ready to go, and it has been a few months while I was building and doing tutorial videos, but I'm back to streaming. I'm going to do this one, which is a continuation of the marathon stream I did in September, and if you've not seen any of that, I do have a link to it down there in the description. At least I'm pretty sure that I do. But the basic gist of it was that I was started in a science mode and went to try and land on as many planets as I could and plant flags and come back. And up here we have the count to date. So in that video, it was a little over a 10-hour video plus a bit of an epilogue. I landed on 6, and they were the moon, well, Kerbin, the moon, Minmus, then I went to Gilly, and then I went to Dunan, landed on Ike and Dunan. Those are the 6. And all of those are ones that I'm reasonably familiar with. I've landed in the past. Today I'm going for Moho. I gotta be honest, I'm a little bit nervous. I've never actually landed a Kerbal on Moho. I've landed probes on Moho before. I've never tried to come back from Moho is really what this is about. And oh my goodness, Moho is expensive. Before I get any further though, this is the first stream I've done in a little while, and you know, as you get older, the brain cells don't fire quite as well as they do normally. So if there are any technical snafus, I'm looking at people in the chat, if you can't hear something or if things aren't running right, please let me know. If it's all good, a thumbs up would be great. But otherwise, I think we should just really kind of get started. Now, I'm not quite done the tech tree. There's really actually no reason I shouldn't have the tech tree with the missions that I've done so far. If I just put a stinking science lab on that Duna mission, that science lab would have polished this off easy, because the science lab over a long haul mission like going to another planet produces so much science. But I do have 3 nodes to unlock, so I do want to unlock those. The one that I'm a little disappointed I didn't unlock here is this one with the experimental electrics with the RTG in it. I kind of wanted to go out towards Drez and Jewel. That was my first inclination, frankly, because they're easier than going to Moho. But because I don't have the RTG yet, I'm going to go sunward. I'm going to go towards Moho. So that's going to be the plan. Let's get into the VAB. And why don't we get started with this right away? And as if Moho is not tough enough to do, I'm going to build something that's just not really dull. My ones from the previous stream, I just built something that was pretty standard, pretty weird. This time I want to do something a little bit more interesting. So I want to build something that I can keep using over and over again and go to these other planets. So this is going to be a build heavy type of stream, but then when we do future ones of these, it should go a lot quicker, because once you've built something that can go to Moho, you can go almost anywhere. And I want to build a lander that can land on Moho. And if with it landing on Moho, I think the only body that doesn't have an atmosphere that it'll have trouble with, I think, is going to be Tylo. Tylo's tougher or harder to land on than Moho as far as the delta V needed to get down from low orbit. But what I also want to do is kind of incorporate the lander into a space plane. So this is going to be a lander space plane combo. Maybe I should just get started and you'll get a better idea of what I want to get started with. So this is going to be the basics of it, the Mark 3 cockpit. And it can hold 4 Kerbals. I thought that's a great way for us to get started. And I've been playing around with this a little bit. So what I did, this is going to be my plan, is to take the adapter, this one, that goes to the 2.5 meter size. And on the bottom of that, we're going to put electrics. I want to give it a battery, and since we're at 2.5 meter, this is pretty easy. That'll give it tons of electric charge. And then we'll put a storage McJob under payload, obviously. 2.5 one, and this will give it lots of space in which to place all kinds of things. I'm actually going to rotate it, you'll see why in just a little bit. And then below that, I went with these guys, a pair of thuds. We'll tweak this a little bit, but this is basically, you know, obviously it's going to need some landing gear and stuff. But right away, am I in vacuum? No, I'm on sea level. Right away, 2817 is the amount of delta V on this thing. It has a thrust to weight ratio of 1.2 on Kerbin, so it'll have no trouble with Moho. I don't know what, if I switch this to Moho, what's it say? 4.34, so landing on Moho won't be an issue. It's a little on the tall side, but what I like about it is I can attach a space plane kind of behind this. That's going to be the idea. And so it'll take off from the runway. It'll attach to some orbital big command ship that will have all the stuff it needs to get down to Moho. And then we fly that to Moho. This gets off and lands, obviously with some more attachments. Then it comes back, and then we fly back down to the runway. That's the plan. And if it's overly ambitious, yeah, it might be overly. If you think it's overly ambitious, you could easily be right. I did not tweak this. I worked out, by the way, a budget for landing on Moho that was comfortable. If I'm in low orbit about Moho, to land and then get back up to low orbit, I budgeted 2,200 meters per second. So this covers that comfortably, and I can still stick stuff on it. So we're going to stick on a docking port so we can attach a space plane on the bottom of this. Put on some science here, some sciencey goodness. We'll put in materials bay. This is all stock, by the way, for those people that haven't been following this. 100% stock. I don't have even any of the seismicing. Sorry, I don't have even the DLCs. I don't have on this thing. There's absolutely nothing. A thermometer, barometer, and I think that's going to be it. We're not going to need. We'll be blowing the doors off the tech tree when this is all done, so I don't need to get too concerned with science. I think that is going to do it. We're going to put some landing gear on here, and we're going to use... Oh, yeah, no, this is cool. We're going to use the big guys, this guy. And I think I'm going to go with some three-way symmetry. Kind of stick them right on the batteries there like that. Maybe, I don't know, I think that's... Actually, maybe if I... What if... Whoops. I put them more... Just trying to get it so I stick it more this way and then use the translation tools. Sorry, there we go. Oh, cool. Get it out of the textures there a little bit. Yeah, I want it. That's nicer because it's like parallel with the fuselage a little bit. Maybe down a little bit more so it's right on the edge. Well, that's as far as it's going to let me come down. About there. And I think that should do it. I think so. Let's toughen up the springs on it a little bit. Springs, dampener, strength. Yeah, let's up the springs, up the dampeners a little bit. So it'll be there'll be stiff legs, but that means it should be okay. Yeah, I think that should work. And a ladder. We need a ladder, and I believe. Might not lead a ladder. I'm not sure if Kerbals can, but we're gonna put a ladder. Like I said, we might not need it actually because Kerbals might be able to use their EVA packs. Let's try it about here. Oh, that's upside down clearly. And another one. And this will have to be clearly tweaked a bit. Oh, again, I'm upside down. Oh, that's no good. There. Out a bit, come out this way a bit. So the two ladders, we'll give this a test. Make sure it's Kerbal usable. Just to clear that engine. Hopefully they can reach that from the ground. We'll give this a test on the launch pad when this is all done. Lots of ladders pointing up. It is opposite day. This is the comment in the chat. I think I can get it because I'm going to put the docking port at the back. I'm just going to put a regular old boring type of nose cone on the front. It's unorthodox, but it's not there. It's not complicated. It's not simple. I think it's pretty simple. Oh, we need some landing lights. Landing lights. I think just sticking 3 of them. Three-way symmetry so that they're between all the legs there. Like that. Honestly, I think that's fine. And let's light up the inside here with some dome lights. Oh shoot, I put 2-way symmetry on all the science. We'll fix that in just a second. So that'll just light that up. Go back to 1-way symmetry on all these science bits. Don't need 2 of all these things. Still 2,634 meters per second. Let's slide these studs down just a little bit. I want to make sure that don't interfere with the docking port, because that's. Oh, and I should look as well. Like, what do these look like when they retract? I'm there. Ah, I'm fine with that. Okay. Still lots and lots and lots of delta V. Got that. Oh, some solar generation. That would be a good idea. Won't need a lot, really. But when you're starting to build things as big as this... Oops, this time I do want the 2-way symmetry. Make sure those aren't interfering with the doors at all. Maybe a little bit. Line them up a little bit. That should be good. I'm fine with that. All right. I'm thinking... You know what? I actually, now that I'm looking, I'm thinking of a plane attaching to the back end of this, and I think I want this actually. I know I already rotated it once, but I think I actually want it like that. I do. And then let's move these legs. Now that I've done that, icky ook. Let's move these legs. Okay. Maybe that was a bad idea. I'm just thinking when you'll see when the plane's attached to it, there needs to be some... I don't want these engines interfering where the wings are going to be. It'll make sense. I promise. I might just live with this. I might just... Let's here, this is the Moho one. Alright, and let's just do a test launch. And this is really just to see if... this is really just going to be seeing if that ladder works, doesn't fall over. Yeah. Now I know it's a little weird because they're going to come out of here kind of sideways. But what I'm kind of hoping is I can let go and grab the ladder. There we go. See, I mean, it's not super graceful, but I think doing a turn, oh, got by the little spot there, no problem. Look at that, Valentina's showing us how it's done. right? Get back in. Up we go. So I was a little worried about this connection here, but just went past that. And as long as when I get to the top of the ladder I can board. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that worked out pretty good. I think I'm fine. I'm gonna leave it. Okay, so let's revert back to vehicle assembly. And let's see. Oh, the lights. I messed up the lights. Let's fix the lights. That should be okay. Maybe if we just angle them out. Let's turn them on. Yeah, if we angle them just a little bit. You can actually come out a little bit, I think. There. A little bit more down. All right, I think that's good. I think that's good. So here's our lander. 2,624 meters per second. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. I don't think I am. I don't think I am. I think it's going to be good. Okay, so we'll retract everything. The lights can come off. Track that ladder. Track that ladder. Track the solar panels. Close our little... Oh, an antenna. That'd be a good idea. Just realized that. Now, I'm not going to have this thing communicate all the way back to Kerbin. So I'll have a relay antenna on the main craft that's going to get it there. So I'm thinking just a Communitron 16 will be fine to communicate with. To communicate with the transfer vehicles, really the idea. So we're just going to put that there. Have this sort of sneaking out here a little bit. Going right where the light is. As long as it can retract and the doors can close, then that's all I need. There we go, there we go, there we go. RCS for docking. Thank you very much, Rob DeVos says. RCS for docking, you are 100%. I knew I was forgetting something. Yes, this thing's going to need to dock with our craft. So we need to put on RCS. That is the wildest looking lander I think I've ever built. Okay, RCS. How heavy is this thing? It's 21 tons. I think I'm going to use the big blocks. I think so. So where's the center of mass on this thing? Let's open this again. These ones are the big ones. Okay. Where can I think I'm going to put them. We'll do four-way symmetry. See how they look just like on the battery here. Mostly I want. Might have to be what it's got to be. I mean, I could put them... let's leave them. Let's leave them, see how it goes. So that, and then we'll put four more. About an equal distance up here. Just make sure that's not, they're not sitting on anything stupid looking. None of them are floating in the air or anything. I think that's all okay. Okay. So what we're going to do something else with this. Close this. We're going to save this. I'm going to just do the RCS, see how well balanced it is really. So I'm just going to go into orbit very quickly. A little test. Where's the docking port, says King Brock. There's a docking port right on the bottom. It's got the 2.5 meter Clampetron Senior right on the very bottom of it. Okay, Alt F12. I'm going to cheat you right into orbit around Kerbin, and this is just to temporarily, ooh, I like it. Okay, test RCS, and what you can do is just don't put on the SAS. Ooh, now I'm wondering, I think there's a lot of reaction wheels in that. I don't think I need reaction wheels. And then just do like a lateral, and just watch if it's turning. It's not. See, I don't even have SAS on. It's turning a little bit. So I could turn down the thrust on these a smidge, maybe. Maybe put them at 90%. Okay, try that again. That's pretty balanced. I think I actually turned them down too much. So, back on again. I think I'm probably just getting too picky. 92. 92. There, that's it. I'm calling it. Okay, so we'll take this. Let's revert back. Revert flight back to vehicle assembly. All right, and I think I said 92. I'm fine with that. I think that's good. And actually, while I'm at it with these guys, let's turn off the roll, pitch, and yaw, so we're just using it for lateral. Yep. And same with these guys. All right. I'm calling this thing now. So that's the lander part. Okay. Now the next step. And for those people just joining, 93.33333 comes up in the chat. Yeah, I know. I'm getting too silly. Okay, the next part is to turn this into a space plane. In my effort to be needlessly complicated, this is gonna be the front end, the forward end of a space plane. We're gonna build a space plane behind this. That's the whole idea, just to be needlessly stupid. And so what we're going to do is, and also it does take advantage of the fact of the sort of strength of those Clampetron Senior docking ports, that you can use them structurally like this. So what we're going to do, we're going to do this, and then I want this to be not like, I want to smooth this section up. So I'm going to take a big fair. I'm going to take the 3.75 meter fairing that I now have. I think it's pretty good. I'm going to go just straight back like this. And then hopefully we can close this off nicely. Oh. Oh, it's not letting me. Oh, okay. I can do it here. Yeah. And I want to see if I can. Like I said, I did do a little bit of playing, and I managed to get this to close on me. It's an awkward shape. Okay, this is not helping. They're not helping. Okay, might need to come out a little bit. I think what I need to do is actually sneak these guys just in just a little. I think they're interfering just a little bit. Those engines. Okay, let's try this. Build a fairing again. I'm not getting the green. I guess I can come out a little bit. There we go. Like that. And I want to see that. Oh, I saw it briefly. There. Close that fairing. So that's kind of the idea there. Here, let's turn off the fairing expansion. So the idea here is that just kind of cleans that up a little bit. And what I would love is if I could just keep this on as kind of a cowling type of a deal. So we're going to take it out of the staging. There we go. So when done, this can just kind of come out. That's my idea. So behind this, we're going to build ourselves a space plane. So, and I'll admit, I already played with this a little bit, so I have a bit of an idea what I want to do. That's not the one I want. I want the really, here, let's arrange these. Where's the big, no, that's, I want the 3.5 meter small one. Get that one? Must be that one, yep. And then again, 1.0. Nope, sorry, I'm in the whole wrong section here. This one. Like that. And yeah. And on the end of this, I'm going to put another docking port. Another Clampetron Senior. I think I got to flip it around. If I'm not mistaken. It's going to be hard to see which way's forward, but I'm pretty sure I have that the right way. So, like, yeah, there's a space plane type of deal for you. And then I'm going to put on the side here, I'm going to put 4 of those Rapier engines. Where are we here? But oh no, I want to get into aerodynamics first. I want to get the pre-cooler thingies. Where are they? These guys. And let's get... This is going to be ugly at first, and then we'll kind of tweak it. Like that. And like that. And then some... Mark 1... like that, and then on the back of that, those Rapier engines, which are ridiculously versatile when it comes to building space planes. There they are, like that, and like that. And we'll tweak that. Well, obviously, these need to be straightened. Oh, and air intakes too. The those ones, shock nose air intakes, like so. And obviously, this thing needs some wings. I think that would probably be the one, except they're backwards. Like that. Okay, and some big elevon. I am the absolute worst person for figuring out. There we go. And the smaller ones again. Oh dear. There we go. Like that. See, it's getting sort of space planey like. And then we'll straighten this nonsense all out. Obviously, we would love these engines to just be pointed straight back. And I think I'm just going to have to eyeball that piece of it. That looks straightest. Are they horizontally okay? I think that looks about right. Right-ish, anyway. And we'll tweak them up in a little closer. Sure. All right. What do people in the chat think of this? Yeah, this would be flag. I see that in the chat, Joe. This would be flag number 7. Not quite sure what mission number it is. It's not that high. Like, we are collecting a lot of science from our previous missions. All right, all right. I mean, we're getting there. It's moving in the right direction. For a rudder, I know it gives you this one, which is like the, you know, I know it's backwards too. But that's like, huge. I don't want that. That's too big. So instead, and even this guy, which is kind of like a commercial jet rudder, still feels too big. So what I'm thinking of, let me just find the one I got in my little brain. This guy. If I use swept wing type A, this gets the mass down a little bit, which is always a good thing. Like that. And then we'll get some of these slanty rudders or elevons on it. Oh, I don't know what's going on with that. Let's just do that. And clearly this is going to have to do some test flights. And that's where the fun's going to begin. When I got to try and fly this thing. For those people that are looking for carnage, that's where you're likely going to find it. I want to put another one above it. Oh my gosh. Why? Why? What are you doing to me? Okay, maybe if I just got a fresh one. Oh, that's the wrong one. That one. Yeah, I can rotate that into position. See, I'm starting to think that's looking rather tolerable. And we'll light it up and all that kind of jazz too. Okay. I don't know. Let's see. Where's lift and mass? And there is no way that's where the lift is. What are you? I hate when the game gets. There's no way the lift is at the very, very back. I don't know what it's. What if I remounted these wings? Oops. Okay, now it seems to want to put it in a reasonable. There's no way that's right. Absolutely none. It's like it's not even looking at these wings. It's like just looking at the control surfaces. There's no way that's right. Absolutely. Okay, we're going to have to fly and see what it's like. Yeah. Here, we're going to put some canards here at the front. Oh, where are these going to go? Here? Does that kind of work? Is that going to be in the way of the solar panel? Okay, let's move the solar panels just temporarily. That'll work. And where can we put these guys? Sometimes I find it easier, oops, I got it on the snap, there we go, to watch. You know, to adjust one, but watch the one that's locked on it with symmetry. I think that's tolerable. Extend those. Sure. Tract, okay. Yeah, I don't believe this center of lift here at all. I really don't. I don't trust you. I simply don't. This is why I was thinking, by the way, if we can sneak here, maybe if I take the expansion off of this. Oops. Why I moved these thud engines, because I knew these wings would be kind of protruding in here a little bit, and then I didn't want the wings to be touching the thuds. I wanted those to be separate. And again, remember, this is going to undock, so I want this to be all clean in here. I don't want anything glitching into each other. We're going to fly this. We're going to see how it works. I'm getting if you turn off snap, it will align with the surface. I'm sorry, King Brock, I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. Let's get on some landing gear. If you could elaborate, that'd be great. So yeah, those people I'm getting comments in the chat. Maybe this is about right. It also feels, well, this is up high. Maybe that, oh, maybe if I took these, here, just hang on a second. Maybe I shouldn't be so dismissive of where that is. If I took, whoop, that's not what I want. There. Move this down. Might be moving those engines a little bit too. Just to get the center of lift a little lower too, maybe. Actually, this gives me a good indication too. The engines needs to be rotated still a bit here. This one. See that. Got to be a little careful too. I don't want the thrust vector to come. Where is the thrust vector, by the way? I don't want the thrust vector to get too low. I want it to go roughly through the center of mass. It kind of looks like it is. Now it definitely isn't. All right, we'll live with that. We'll see what we get. We'll see what we get. Once you fly it, I think I need to fly it and see what it feels like. Let's undock this, or not undock, turn off that expansion again because it's getting annoying. I need some landing gear. I need some, if I'm going to fly it, I need landing gear, don't I? We'll go with, this thing's pretty big. Let's go with the big guys here at the back. Where's that center of mass again? Oh, I know what I want to do. I just realized something too. Is rather than, well, let's try it. I mean, one of the options too to help this thing fly a little bit better is I could send, this fuel is for landing on Moho. I could send this up with that empty. I think that's a good idea. I'm going to do that. We'll send this up empty. And then this has got a dock still with a the craft that's going to take it to Moho, and that will carry some extra fuel to fill up the lander, and that will help, I think, on this end too. I think so. Well, that's brought the center of lift a little bit more. Oh, we'll see. Yeah, I could increase the angle on the canards. That is a very good suggestion coming from the chat. 100% I could do that. And in fact, even giving a tiny bit of an angle even here. It's not, oh, not on the gear, of course. That's a really bad idea. On the wings. A little bit of an angle of attack. I lose my lift. And then coming to here too. Give it a little bit of an angle of attack. That does bring it forward. I'm going to be a little careful. I'm going to go by feel because I don't 100% trust this thing. I really, really don't. Okay, that's that. I need more. I'm going to put some medium landing gear at the front. Oh, those landing gear. Oh, no, they look okay. Single one. Right. Center that. There. Okay. And I want it to be just a little bit pitched up on the runway. So we can take these guys, slide them up just a little bit. They're a little bit in the ground here. That means the nose will be up. Yeah. We'll go with that. I like how the center of mass stayed up there even though I moved it around. Let's get into... I want to up the friction on the rear gear. I always find that really helps. I'm going to up the springs. I'm going to up the dampeners. I'll leave the brakes alone. And on this guy, we will also, where are we here? Friction. We'll leave the friction alone. I think having more drag at the back is a good thing. And again, up the springs, up the dampener. Okay. I don't know. I'm kind of inclined to kind of see what happens. That's kind of where I'm at with this right now. This is going to be test flight number 1. It might not be pretty. But it should be entertaining. Oh, let's get these guys. Oh, wait, I gotta figure out some action groups for those. Sorry, because when we get to a particular altitude, provided we'll ever get to that altitude, we're going to need to toggle these engines into rocket mode. And we're going to have to close these air intakes. So I'll put that on action group 1. That's, of course, assuming it gets anywhere near something like that. So let's launch it. Let's see what happens. Oh, we're bouncy. So maybe more on those dampeners might not be a bad idea. I'm not full of confidence. I'm not sure about anybody else. But this is just a test. This is only a test. Okay. Did I put it on chase? There we go. Okay, so we're going to throttle this up. That comes off. Oh, I'm nervous. I'm nervous, folks. These folks. Bob's nervous. Bob's the only one with the correct emotion being in this thing. It's nice and straight on the runway. Well, that's nice. Can we take off? Oh, I never did adjust any of those. Oh, it does not want to pull up. So it is nose heavy. So maybe that lift isn't... Oh, we are up. We are up. There we go. But it definitely could be better. Just throttle this down. Okay, so if I'm just going to turn off SAS just temporarily. And yeah, you see how quickly it falls down? So it is very nose heavy. So maybe that wasn't completely wrong. Let's try a landing. Oh my gosh. What am I even thinking about? Hey, it's flying. I mean, that is something. Oh, I'm stalling it. Oh, come on. Up, 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 up. We actually get some more upness here. Alright, so we got a really crappy approach here to the runway. Landing gear down. We'll see what happens. Oh, this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm falling. I'm like, this thing has a glide ratio of like, that's really bad. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, we're not walking away from. Okay, so revert flight back to the spaceplane hangar. Okay. I swear I can get this thing. Okay, so maybe that center of lift and center, that wasn't too outrageous after all. Let's see. What I should do, like I said, I did do some tweaking, and I found out if I took out a lot of this oxidize, so here, let's take out some of this. And I think I'm probably got too much liquid fuel. Try and take out some of that. But that center of lift definitely needs to be more forward. Putting a little bit more angly on here. Like that. Feels like it needs to be higher too. That's not affecting things too much if I put those up. Why did I lower these wings, by the way? I'm not sure why I even did that. Oh, that's the landing gear. Lift back. Okay, this is starting to look a little better. You got it with space planes though, you do want this a little bit ahead because when you're hypersonic, the center of lift tends to move forwards, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. Yeah, I'll do the test land. Yeah, what we'll do in orbit, I'm getting a comment in the chat. In orbit, you need to test the lander, whether it will separate cleanly, and we'll definitely do that. I'm thinking as well, I moved those wings up, so I think I need to take these landing gear and just take them down just a little bit. Maybe take this one and move it up a little bit. There we go. I just want to see if I can get this flying first. Okay, let's do some tweaking of these control surfaces. So this one I just want to be pitch. This one I want to be pitch as well. This one I want to be pitch and roll. These guys I want to be just yaw. And I might, let's just turn down all of these authority limiters for just to get us started. I usually find these are too, maybe not those ones. No, maybe this one. 12. Again, a question, how long the stream's going to go for? I'm shooting for about a couple of hours, maybe a little less than 2 hours, I think is typical. Hour and a half to 2 hours, somewhere in that stream. We'll see how it goes. Okay, let's do another. Oh, this is still. Where's the mass? Maybe that's why. Well, okay, there we go. That's looking better. Maybe it's the mass that was the issue. Okay, let's try it again. So we're gonna save this and we're gonna launch it. Oh, are people having trouble with the stream freezing? Uh-oh. Okay. Let me see if I can let's just put the brakes on this for just a little bit. I'm seeing in the comments people talking about streaming. I'm not sure if if I got to here. Yeah. Yeah, I think I am having some internet issues on this end. We're getting drop stream. Okay. Give me a moment. Let's see if I can just fix the settings here real quick. That's what happens when you're gone for a little bit. Okay, let's see here. Output. Streaming. I don't know if it's going to let me change this while I'm actually streaming, unfortunately. Sorry about this, folks, but I do think I'm having internet issues. Well, we're just pausing here for a second. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if I can change the actual rates of anything. I don't think I can change anything while I'm actually streaming. And I don't want to end the stream. Is it really, really bad on people's ends with the freezing? But the sound is smooth. Okay, I'm going to go for it. We'll see how it goes. Sorry about that. I'll have to play with the settings in between. Okay, let's give this a go though. See if it takes off a little better this time too. Still having trouble getting off the runway. I might need to move these landing gear a little bit back. There it goes, there it goes. It's up, it's up, it's up. Might just see if we can get this into an orbit. See what happens here. Pay some attention to what's going on here. Okay, actually turn that. Now, if I hit F, yeah, it's still, I think it's still a little nose heavy. I think it is still a little nose heavy. Yeah, there was plenty of runway to take off. That is true. Alright, and what I want to do, I'm actually going to try and see if we can get this, see how far we can get this as far as getting it into orbit or not. What I want to see is I opened up this so I can see the thrust, the total thrust being produced by these Rapier. I want to see that continually building. As you build speed, you should be also building up thrust. And so, if I find this is not building, I'm going to pitch down a bit to try and pick up a little more speed. I might do that again. Just, it's all about going up at an appropriate pitch. It's always different with every vehicle, at least that's what I find. Whether you go up really shallow, whether you go up super quick. Still building up thrust here, building up speed, about to go supersonic. I think I might pitch down a little. What's all the liney lines like that? I'm worried about drag in the center here. Oh, well, whatever. How are we doing over here? Still building up thrust. That's a good thing. Yep, thanks for letting me know in the chat about the issues happening here. I'm starting to notice I got some warnings on my end too. I think I have the bit rate just a little bit too high for my internet quality. Alright, so we're now really starting to build up speed, still building up thrust. Almost at 10 kilometers altitude. Actually, let's put this on this one. And here we're getting into the stage of this where we really want to build up that speed. Get the most out of these in air breathing mode that we can. Before we get so high that we start to have trouble with that. And we are starting to lose thrust, so I'm going to pitch down. Starting to lose thrust here as the air gets thinner. But we're still building speed, and that's what's important. Don't worry about all the flamey stuff. That hasn't hurt anything. Lots and lots of speed. 1,350 meters per second. Let's keep going. Almost at 1,400 and still climbing. Actually, I like this a lot. Starting to get some heating bars up there. Hopefully those will go away soon. And I'm really, again, watching this speed. As long as this speed is building, I'm happy. As soon as this speed is not building that quickly, I'm going to switch it into rocket mode. 1,500 meters per second, almost at 20 kilometers. And I'm thinking I'm going to go, yeah. So we just put it into closed cycle mode. We are now in rocket mode. I'm going to pitch up just a little bit and get a little bit out of the thinner part of this atmosphere. Oh, and I think I want to start looking at my orbital data too. Oh, let's turn the thrust down. We're going, I want to keep that Apple, I don't want that apoapsis to get too far ahead of me. Let's just lock this on prograde now. The apoapsis is about 2 minutes ahead of me, and I want to keep that kind of a constant. Should have maybe been thrusting down a little bit earlier too. So we're not putting as much energy into raising our apoapsis, which is getting close to being in space, but putting more energy into raising our periapsis. That's kind of the idea of not letting that apoapsis get too far ahead. And I'm thinking, just with the technical issues that are also happening now, I can see I'm pushing it about the hour mark. If I can get this chunk working, what I think I might do is just call the stream at this point, cut it a little bit short. But then what I'll do on Tuesday is pick up where this left off. I'll fix the technical issues in the meantime, and we'll make Tuesday our go into Moho day. A little bit more thrust. I want to keep that apoapsis about 2 minutes ahead of me. Thanks, Joe. Joe is saying he liked my video on setting up communication relays, which is pretty useful. Okay, eventually this thing probably needs to get to an 100-kilometer orbit. I'm looking, it's just under at 800 meters per second left still in it. So that's pretty encouraging. I'm just going to let this keep going. So I think we're going to reach an orbit. We'll do a little bit of testing of the docking and undocking, and then what we'll do is maybe bring her down. That will probably end disastrously, but okay, so we are in space. Still gotta kit this out a bit, put some lights on it and all that kind of stuff. I have to be honest, for those people that are looking at this going, wow, I did play around with this before the stream and kind of came up with a design that worked for me 100 kilometers there. And it worked for me at the time. So although this looks like I built it super quick, I already had a pretty good idea of what I wanted. So, but honestly, this worked better than what I was doing before the stream. I was playing with this yesterday. 617 meters per second still left in this thing. That's a ton. That is a ton. So what we're going to do is we'll circularize up here at 100 kilometers. And then we'll bring it down and we'll just sort of see what happens. So my periapsis is already out of the surface, so it's not going to take too much. We're already almost at an orbital velocity. Okay, let's just do it. Just letting it get too close to... Whoops, got a camera stinker. That's close enough to 100 by 100. There we go. Let's put this on auto. There. All right. So, with that done, why don't we test our docking and undocking? Let's see how that works. So I want to find... There is a docking port there. There we are. We'll pin that over here. So let's undock. All right. Put on RCS. Yeah, there's a little bit of funkiness going on there, but I'm honestly sort of... I might just let it go. Because the thing is the idea is that this is going to... So this would then attach to another vehicle and go to Moho, and then this would be capable of landing on Moho. That's the idea. And then when we come back, this can redock with this and we can fly back down. That's my whole plan. And I just realized I have a bit of a problem. Something to think about. This has no... I just time warped to stop that thing from rotating. Maybe that's not a problem. I don't know. So let's set this as a target. Control from here. Whoa! Oh yeah, I'm locked on... There, silly. Turn this around again. I was locked on retrograde at the moment I did that. Let's start thrusting. There we go. Now I do have a little bit of an issue. Why is it being weird? Oh, I'm in... Okay, I gotta rotate this. This is going to be interesting. Is getting this... Oh, I know what's confusing me. I gotta rotate that. Okay. First things first. I said control from the docking port, but the docking port's rotated in a funny way so that pitching up and down is not the same as pitching up and down from the cockpit. So that's what's kind of got me a little bit kerfufflified there. Aim our camera up here, and I have no idea how my alignment is doing. Here, let's slow down a bit. Or my rotation. The rotation's kind of a big deal because you don't want this thing coming down cockeyed. We'll see. A mod might be good, but I did sort of tell myself I was going to do this modless. Kind of going by the eyeballs. Whoops. Oh, shoot, 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 shoot. That way. That way. And again, a little bit of funkiness going on with the physics, with the cowling, but I might just let that go. I'm docked. I'm docked. What do you think? Will this fly? Let's give it a go. Let's see what happens. Okay, I don't know. I was pretty happy with that. Let's do a descent. I'm not promising the runway. I'll be perfectly happy with a water ditch, to be honest. Here, let's just select just us. There. We will start our... Where's the... Oh, in the KSC. There we go. That's what I want to see. We'll start our burn right around here. Always like starting right under this peninsula. I have no idea what I should set my periapsis at. Absolutely none. Maybe I'll go for a periapsis of 40 kilometers. He says without too much Whoa, whoa, whoa. Why am I way off with stupidness like that? Why did that... What happened there? Oh, I'm still... Darn it. I'm still on the... There we go. I'm still on the... I was controlling still from the docking port. I got to fix the orientation of that docking port. Okay, let's try this again. A lot of delta. I'm really happy with how much delta V this thing still has. Okay, 40 kilometers, periapsis. Let's see how this goes. This could go bad. Now it's coming up on the chat. You're controlling from the docking port. Yeah, there is a delay in the chat. Oh, there's an adjustment. Okay, sorry, somebody was suggesting. Sorry, let's go out of here. There is an alignment rotating slider that was introduced in, this is coming up in the chat, in 1.12. Oh, this might make my life a lot easier. Let's do that. I'm getting some sort of really weird kind of rock and rolly thing happening here. So there's an alignment thingy here, so you can... There is. It's a little bit of a fine tuner on that. I don't like how it... I think I was so close. I think it's good the way it is. Oh, maybe not. Maybe a little this way? I think there is. Is that what... Am I doing the right thing? Is that rotating stuff? I'm convincing myself it is, but I'm not convinced it is. Well, whatever. Let's go down. I'll look into that in the meantime. Okay. Point prograde. Let's get down there. Into the atmosphere. This could go all horribly badly. It could be horrific. I don't know what this thing's going to be like. There. Down free. Pitch up. I like pitching up. Now, one thing is this thing, I should switch the mode again. This thing does have jet engines. I think these are still kind of tilted funny. I'm looking at these. Yeah, they're not straight back. They're going on a bit of an angle. So there's something else for me to fix. Between the streams. Okay, I can go back to air breathing mode. I do have jet engines. They won't work right now, but once I'm low enough, they will. Okay. I'm going to put this here. We'll time warp down to where things start getting interesting. What will be nice on the alignment front is, again, if there was some sort of an indicator like here on alignment. That would be nice for when you're docking. Okay, should be starting to see some heating effects soon. Put this back on here. I am definitely going to be overshooting here. It really looks like that's in the cards. So it's going to be a water landing. I don't think we're going to make the runway. One thing to sort of here, let's take the time warp off. One thing to really watch is, like, I have this set. I got my hands away from the keyboard. I just have SAS on. But you see that pitch indicator? That's how hard this thing is right now, pitching down, trying to keep it. And if this gets pinned up at the top, you're very likely to flip out your plane. So if you notice it's getting really, really close to the top and you're worried about it flipping out, pitch down, get kind of ahead on that, and that keeps you from flipping out. We are way overshooting our runway. So I should have brought periapsis down lower, but that's okay. It's in control. That's the most important thing. Still orbital speed is true. Yep. So again, what I'm watching this pitch indicator. If it gets to the top, I want to pitch down because that means it's going to have trouble holding it there. Also, I guess watching these temperature thingies would be good too. Keep things from blowing up. If things are getting too hot, pitch down too. Are these not on pitch? Why are those on yaw? Oh my, no, that's right. Pitch in, that's right. Okay. Whoa, go down, go down, go down. I think I might want this back up to where it was. There. So these two are together. Go for the, I'm well past the island runway. There goes the island runway. Yep. Yep. Definitely lower periapsis. This is such a heavy plane, it doesn't slow down very quickly. Who else is there's a fourth person in here, right? Oh, look at that. We got a patron snuck in. Ordonis. If you're wondering why Jeb is not in this mix of sort of default Kerbals that jumped in here, that's because I killed him. I killed him on my very first mission of this campaign. Doing something really lame. Just that, you know, you build your first craft, you stick a little SRB on top of the capsule, below the capsule, and fire it off, and I managed somehow to kill Jeb in that. It was pretty sad. Barely got off the ground. We are so... Oh my god, we're going to be getting to the next continent. We overshot so badly. Push down a little bit. Actually, I don't think this thing has a tendency to want to pitch. I'm looking at the pitch indicator. It wants to pitch down. There we go. It's actually pitching down on its own. That was it trying to pitch up. So this thing is bow heavy. I still want to move. I probably should still move the center of lift forward. That's what that's telling me. Oh, I can still. What about fuel and junk? I could. This might help a little bit. Just move stuff to the back. Make it not as nose heavy. A little that'll do. This thing takes forever to slow down. Finding it starting to get a little bit wonky here. Yeah, it still needs some work, but given that this is my... Whoa, I'm... I was about to say... Okay, this still needs some work. No doubt about it. I'm just locking it onto prograde now and hoping I get control back of this thing again. We are in a tumble. Hopefully, when our speed's a little slower, this thing will become a little bit more easier to control. There it comes again. Nope. Okay. We are in Mr. Flat Spin. Mr. Flat Spin is not good. Let's, we should be able to get some throttle here. There we go. Maybe a little throttle might help. Just trying to get it pointing forward. Okay, there we go. And let's bring it up. Okay, we're back in control again. Got a little bit unorthodox there for a little while. I'm not going to fly this all the way back to the KSC. That'd be stupid. I think I'll just cut throttle. Let's just get down to the water. We'll do a water ditch. At least that will give me some idea, too, of control and all that kind of stuff. I should also... I could play around with these things. Like if I deployed those in opposite directions, they could act as air brakes a little bit. Same with down here. That might not be a bad idea. That's what the real space shuttle did with its rear rudder. It split. Deploy one way and one. I don't want to do it just with. I want to do that on an action group. Here we go. I better slow down. Start thinking about what I'm doing here. We'll stay close to shore so we're easy to get picked up. Yep. All right. Where are we at here? A few hundred meters above. Let's see if we can slow down a little bit. I don't know what the stall speed is of this thing. Be honest, considering that in orbit we split this in half and put it back together, that ain't terrible. Okay, let's see if we can slow this down. And drop into the water. There we go. No problem. And I think, I don't know, I think it's landable. I definitely need some work. I'm going to be the first one to admit that. And I'll also work on getting the streaming settings set a little bit better so that hopefully we'll do this again on Tuesday. Pick up where this left off. Got to build a transfer vehicle to get this thing to Moho. Remember, that is the idea. But in the meantime, I want to thank everybody that's in the chat. I want to thank everybody that is watching this at a later date. And we'll try and iron out all these difficulties for Tuesday. We'll see you all then. All right? Thanks, everybody.